Hello, this is Sue, and I am going to talk about how to securely stitch eyes on a crochet hat. So first thing you have to do is decide where you want the eyes. I'm too much of a klutz to film myself placing them in a mirror, so I'm using the head form. It's a wig stand basically, but you will have to be using someone else's head or looking at your own mirror if you don't have one. I've been creating hats since the 1980s, so this is an essential piece of equipment for me, but I lost my original one in a move and the replacement was too small, so I've crocheted several covers to pad it out, and I use the yellow undercap to smooth the surface. The head form has a special clamp that secures it to the table. These are some of the tools I considered using: double-sided knitting needle or a few extra tapestry needles I had around, extra long tapestry needle, and regular pin, but that is so small you can barely see them in the yarn. For fastening things to a crochet base, the kitchen skewers might work well because they function as very large pins. But the most secure and safest option I found is bobby pins. I don't want to think about what could happen with those skewers. Smooth the cap or beanie portion on a form of a small ball or someone's head. You could probably try a balloon if you want, but definitely not with the skewers. Then you can try the eyes on to see where you like them best. After you work out the appropriate location you think they should go, secure them with the bobby pins like you would with a pin curl or an errant strand of hair. Add another bobby pin on the other side. As you can see, it can be fastened fairly securely. Place the eyelid over the top, just to be sure, and check it out. Then you repeat that for the other eye. I decided to reposition these because I wanted them further apart. Compare the distance between the bottom of the hat and the beginning of the eye. You could measure this more accurately if you want to. I like to check it from the side and the back as well. I'm adding another bobby pin to the back to make sure the eyes stay where I want them. That looks about right, so I'm checking the eyelids again. Now I can remove it from the form and start the actual sewing. Turn the insides out. As you can see, the eyes are still firmly attached with the bobby pins at this point. I've turned the hat back inside out again, and I'm threading the long tail I left on the eyeball onto the tapestry needle. I insert the needle into the back of the eyeball and bring it out the bottom, taking a stitch through the hat base. I'm whip stitching the eye to the base, taking one stitch through the eyeball and next through the base, then pulling the stitches tight. Could I do this more elegantly? Probably. At this stage of my life, I'm not as concerned as I used to be about being perfect. This will be my last stitch. I make my knot and remove some bobby pins. I've decided to turn the hat inside out and do a few running stitches from the inside, just to make sure. Then you bring the rest of the tail back out through the same spot in the eyeball. When you clip it off, the tail is hidden inside the eyeball stuffing, so you don't have to weave it in. It seems to be holding on quite firmly. Now I can repeat that process with the other eye, but I've reversed the order and I'm securing it from the inside with the back stitch first. Why am I doing it backwards? Because I'm lazy. And the original hat, I think I only used the back stitch to attach the actual white eyeball portion to the base. I relied mostly on the eyelid to actually keep the eye secured on. Folks who pay close attention to detail and those whose hands work better than mine can feel free to stitch around it the way I did in the first example. I'm bringing the yarn through the second eyeball and cutting it off. Adding the eye hood will secure the eye even better, as well as hide most of the mistakes I've made. At this point, I have used the bobby pins to hold the edges of the eyelids to the base so I could stitch them down. Threading the needle to sew on the eye hood. I had left a long tail of the contrasting edging yarn when I should have left it on the camo yarn. I'm hiding the starting tail in the eyeball. And making a knot on the inside of the hat. And then I whip stitch the eye hood around. Rather unfortunately, my hands were not working very well here either. Fasten off and weave in the end. Then you repeat that for the other eye. I think that means we're done. This has been Sue, keeping Portland weird. Thanks for listening. Bye!